All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's jump into it.
Toppled Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro and his wife pled not guilty yesterday to narco-terrorism charges in a New York City courtroom. The 63-year-old former leader reportedly calling himself, quote, a prisoner of war and a decent man, telling the judge he and his wife were kidnapped from their homes in Caracas. Maduro insisting he is still the president of Venezuela, though his one-time vice president, Delcy Rodríguez, was sworn in as the interim leader just 2 hours after his courtroom appearance. Rodriguez condemned Maduro's capture and the U.S. strikes, but offered to work with the Trump administration on, quote, an agenda of cooperation. Meanwhile, police in New York City needing to separate pro-Maduro protesters.
Look, guys, more protesters.
Venezuelans celebrating in the streets. The New York Post speaking to one woman from Caracas who was insulting pro-regime protesters, calling them paid, saying they don't speak English. All that underway as we speak. Emily Serge, your reaction. Good morning.
Hold on, guys. Wait. Stop. Wait, guys. Let me go ahead. You know, I like reading signs. Hold on. Stop illegal war on Venezuela. Get in the streets. Trump must go now. I'm guessing. What it says here. Okay, bro.
Your reaction. Good morning.
Good morning to be with you, Maria. What stuck out most to me in Maduro's court appearance yesterday was his repetition of, I am the president of Venezuela. I think that gives us some insight into what his legal team is going to try to argue. They're going to try to argue that he has immunity as a foreign head of state, but we know that that's a losing argument. Going back to 1989, when President George H.W. Bush ordered the arrest of Panama's dictator, Manuel Noriega, we know that his legal team made the same exact argument about immunity, and it was unsuccessful. He received a 40-year prison sentence, and I think both cases ultimately will have the same result, and that's dictators behind bars.
This is a judge, though, that has been against President Trump's agenda that's in charge of this trial as well.
I mean, it is.
Activist judges. Here we go.
Here. I mean, not only
does
the president have constitutional authority here, Article 2 of the Constitution, of course, grants the president authority as commander-in-chief. The American people also set forth a mandate in the November presidential election, told this president, protect our national security, protect our borders. So I have faith in the legal system. We'll see how this plays out.
Michael, what do you think?
You know, I'm a little surprised that they're bringing this case in the Southern District of New York, although it seems that the intelligence agencies were very active in this, and there's been some speculation in the media that the vice president was the key source for the intelligence agencies to set off this this raid, which was unbelievable. You keep in mind, Venezuela has all the latest and greatest military technology from Russia, from China, and they were able to go from the ocean to Caracas, 3,500 feet above sea level, really without sustaining any meaningful damage. So the marvel of this and what the Delta guys could do in coordination with the intelligence agencies has to put fear in every leader of the world that opposes the United States.
Does.
That wherever you are, we can get you at any moment. That being said, you know, I am shocked they're bringing this down there. There is a real possibility that you get a jury pool that allows this guy to walk simply because they hate Donald Trump. I mean, we just went through not too long ago these kangaroo court cases where they tried to say he was guilty of, I'm still not sure the crime he's guilty of, but he's a felon according to the left, and where they said Mar-a-Lago is only worth $15 million, which, again, if it's selling it for $15 million, I'm happy to buy that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So I'm a little nervous about that, but this, look, you're looking at the destabilizing factors in our hemisphere, and Donald Trump is about hemispheric defense and how can we take control, and the destabilizing factor, okay, being the supplier of oil to Cuba, working with Hamas, working with the Russians, working with the Iranians. This just had to stop. And yes, there are a lot of people out there, including Senator Rand Paul, saying there's no fentanyl produced in Venezuela. You're right. It just traffics through there before it comes to the United States. So this was a bad actor. It's good to see him in this position, this dictator that has ruined I don't know how many people's lives. Yeah. So it's a pretty unbelievable news story to be following.
Don't forget all of the gangs that they let out of prison and dumped into America, and the Tren de Aragua gangs who actually caused murder in America. You know, Ted Cruz said something really interesting last night on Jesse. I don't know if you saw Jesse Waters last night, but he made the point of communism and what Hugo Chavez and Nicolás Maduro have done to Venezuela. In 1950, Venezuela was the 4th largest GDP. in the world. I mean, I thought that was so fascinating that it was Venezuela that was higher than China, Venezuela higher than so many nations. And because of these years under Hugo Chavez and Nicolás Maduro, communism has just sucked all of the growth out of Venezuela, and the people have been the victims. Lawmakers were briefed yesterday about Operation Absolute Resolve, the raid that brought Maduro to justice. But right on cue, several Democrats called to impeach President Trump, claiming that Maduro's capture was illegal without congressional approval. Some on the Democrat side complaining about their own party's opposition to the toppling of the dictator. One House Democrat told Axios, quote, "I think it looks weak if you don't acknowledge when there is a win for the country, then you lose all credibility." Michael, when you look at what has...
They have no credibility. Like, not anymore, not in 2025, not 2026. Sorry, guys, there's not really much credibility because it's just, I hate Trump, so I'm going to say anything, that I can kind of pretty much against Trump. So, for example, the fact that Joe Biden put out legitimately a $25 million bounty on Maduro's head, we're not going to have these conversations, right? We're not going to talk about these things, right, at all, right? Because, again, it was Biden. It was the golden child of Obama, basically, right? And that's it here. That's all. That's the only talking point that there is right now, bro. Trump did it. Ew. All right. That's it. Even though legitimately Obama was named, deporter in chief, but that's fine too. Let's not talk about him deporting people. Only difference is he didn't show it to people. Right. And that's kind of my point generally when it comes to the United States of America. We are very visual people. Right. Understand this here. It's super visual. So when Fox started basically showing all of the gigantic, immigrant convoys that were coming from the South, obviously that was set up to, influence people's overall, vision on the overall topic of illegal immigration, obviously here. But what did Obama do? He did nothing. None of these things here, guys. He didn't show anyone anything at all. All right. So yeah, again, guys, we're super visual people. If you want to rally the base, you have to show it to us.
Gone on with these Democrats. Chuck Schumer was calling for the ouster of Nicolás Maduro years ago. Bernie Sanders, same thing. They all wanted Maduro out, and yet now, because Trump did it, now it's illegal.
So, look, when we talk about impeachment, like if President Trump drank too many Diet Cokes and had to use the restroom, they'd impeach him for that. So that's really, they've destroyed the value of that. And if you look at, again, if it wasn't for double standards, the left would have no standards at all. And just one last thing that people in New York City in this country should take in mind from this, you can vote in socialism, but you have to shoot your way out of it. Okay, there is no voting out socialism. And GDP peaked at $150 billion a year, and now it's about 30 in Venezuela. It's unbelievable the destruction that socialism and communism has done in that country over the last 30 years.
That's the point that Ted Cruz was making last night. Final word
Absolutely.
here.
Democrats are panicking, and they should be, because I think the single military operation just created a lot of new Republican voters. I can tell you, I'm from Miami-Dade County. It was Venezuelans and it was Cubans that helped fuel this president's return to the Oval Office. They are very happy right now, and it was the Venezuelan and Cuban populations that flipped Miami-Dade County not too long ago.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. I'm not going to say that she's wrong because, again, I think earlier in the stream here, I had a full-blown conversation, for the most part, about how my mother, specifically, is extremely hardcore Democrat for no reason at all. Because when you talk to her and listen to what she aligns with politically, it's always the exact opposite. But I think it's out of comfort. I'm gonna vote for Democrats because I'm comfortable with it. But then to hear her basically say recently, when I say recently, yesterday, that Trump is doing things that she didn't even know presidents could even basically do here, guys. So yeah, Trump has done more to push people to the right because of the extremes that the lefts are basically talking about consistently, that it's the 80-20 issues that they talk about regularly, and they're just only working on the 20 issues. And what's funny is that it may not even be 20, it's probably 3, right? If that makes any sense, a 3% issue. It's a 97-3 issue. That's kind of what it sounds like the left pretty much consistently is pushing these days. And the older people get, the more likely they're just going to be bro, I'm done with this. I'm not playing these games anymore. And I think that's kind of where my mother is, at least. And hearing her basically say she's voting for Republican next time is crazy. That doesn't make any sense coming from her mouth. But either way, you said Robert De Niro should run. Yeah, that's hilarious. Do that, right? Hey, listen, he's an actor. We've had a lot of chances with people with some type of notoriety kind of enter in and be like, you know what? Hold on, I'm going to be president. It's not irregular, at least, right? Yeah, I mean, there are some social programs like the army, the public library, right? These type of things. Public schools, not so much. Roads, there are potholes, right? Like we definitely have an interesting mix of socialism in the United States of America that people tend to ignore, right? But yeah, we do have some social programs that function decently, I'd say. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.